Fine, fine, thank
Okay.
you.
Hi there. So we're going to start with some breathing. All right. So just sit up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back. Just relaxing your shoulders. And in fact, we'll do a neck roll too. So let's drop the shoulder to the ear. Maybe putting the hand on top of the head. And then releasing it. Let's drop the ear to the other shoulder, noticing any differences between one side and the other. We'll come back to center. We want to keep our chin parallel to the floor now, and we're just going to turn to the left and turn to the right. Now let's come back to center. Take just a full inhale, really filling up the chest. And exhaling, releasing all that carbon dioxide and cellular waste. Nice long exhale, and we'll move into some box breathing. So we're going to inhale to a slow count of 4, sitting up nice and tall, feeling the lungs fill. Hold the lungs full for a slow count of 2. Exhale to a slow count of 4. And just pause for a slow count of 2. Inhale again to a slow count of 4, sitting up nice and tall. Yeah, I can see you doing that. Perfect. Pausing for 2. Exhaling for 4. Pausing for 2. One more time. Inhaling to a slow count of 4, like you're breathing down into your belly. Pausing for 2. Exhaling for 4. And pausing for 2. Really nice. And now let's start stretching out in every single direction. So before we do that, we want to make sure that we're sitting up tall, our feet are flat on the floor, and preferably with a 90-degree angle. All right, because every time we bend our legs, we're actually shortening the muscles here, right? And frankly, shortening them right here. So we want to keep a nice, good structure, as open as possible. Sitting up nice and tall so the tailbone is gently tucked. We're reaching up through the crown of the head, and the shoulder blades come together on the back like wings. Right? So we're not pushing our shoulders back, we're just letting the shoulder blades come together, and that naturally lifts the chest. So let's start breathing. We're going to inhale with the arms out and up, and bring them just down. Inhale out and up, and down. So we're inhaling on the out and up, long exhale on the down. Nice. Now let's reach one arm up, one arm behind us, and with this bottom arm, pretend you're pressing against a wall, right? So we really want to reach back as far as we can. Maybe the top arm can come past your ear as well, but especially we want to push back with this bottom arm. On a long exhale, we're going to switch arms, so one comes up, the other one presses behind us. And here we don't want to lock the elbows, but we want to keep the whole arm active. So we want to avoid bending the elbow much, right? So just a slight bend in the elbow is fine. And another exhale, let's switch arms again. Reaching way up high and pressing behind you. We're always looking for the edge of our range of motion and then just breathing into it to help the body open. Another exhale, we switch arms again. Reaching up maybe a little higher, not with the shoulder stays down, but we're reaching up through the fingertips and then pressing back with this arm, like we're pressing against a wall. And then again, inhaling up, reaching way up, pressing back. And one more time. Inhaling up and pressing back. Bring both arms up and let them gently float down. Switch the palms. We're going to inhale up. Exhale down. Switching the palms. Again, we're inhaling up. When we inhale up, we want to engage the core and lift up out of it. Exhale, come on down. Reaching out as far as you can. Inhaling up. And one more time, we're just going to exhale down. So as you probably remember, we've got quite a few more stretches. Let's start with this one. We're going to take the fingers, interlace them. Stretch the fingers out, away from you. So we want the shoulders coming back, but then we're reaching out. So in order to do that, we want to keep the tailbone tucked, so we have a nice solid foundation. And then we're going to reach up. Again, reaching up through the arms, not with the shoulders, keeping the shoulders down. Release the hands and let them come on back down. Now we're going to interlace the fingers and press the hands the other way. See if you can straighten your elbows just to the extent that feels good, feels like a nice stretch. Inhale back up. Release the hands and let them come on back down. Let them just float back down. Nice. So again, we're going to do a nice inhale all the way up. Now that we've got both arms up, we're going to bend one arm, bring the hand back between your shoulder blades. Gently press that elbow back. We're looking for a stretch right here in the tricep. Reach that arm back up, and let's bend the other arm. Reach both arms up, bring both hands gently down to the knees. We're going to round the back, coming into a seated cat, pulling in the belly button, rounding the tailbone, rounding the shoulders, looking at the knees. And we're going to come into a seated cow. So we bring the hands behind us. You might want to scoot up a little bit on the chair. Okay? So bring the hands behind you, trying to maybe pull them together behind the chair or just grasp the chair. We're rolling the shoulders back and looking up at the ceiling. And exhale, just relax. Relax and come back to neutral. So we want the shoulders right over the hips. And here we want the heels right under the knees, right? We want the crown of the head reaching up and the tailbone stretching down. So we've got a nice elongated spine. And let's do that again. We're going to inhale out and up. Nice. Bend the one arm and press that arm back. Press that elbow gently back, sitting up nice and tall. And just breathing. Both arms up, bending the other arm, gently pressing that elbow back. And remember to breathe. So we don't want to hold our breath. We want to keep breathing because that helps the body open and helps increase our range of motion. Both arms come up and they gently float down to the knees. Once they land, we're going to round the back, coming into a seated cat. And then sit up tall, bring our hands behind us, look up at the ceiling, lifting the chest, coming into a seated cow. And we'll do that one more time. So we come back to neutral first, just checking in, feeling our structure. So let's gently close the eyes for just a moment. Feel our structure in space, right? We want to feel our shoulders over our hips. We want to feel the crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling and feeling our spine become nice and long. We want to feel that our feet are right underneath our knees, or our heels are right underneath our knees. Just becoming very aware of where we are in space. Notice we're going to do a body scan, gently moving from the top of the head all the way down the body, using your attention like a nice warm light that helps relax every place that you bring your attention to. So your eyebrows relax, and your jaw relaxes, and your neck relaxes. Your shoulders relax. Your arms relax, and your hands can even go limp. Even though you're still sitting up tall, you allow your structure to hold you up and your torso to relax, so the chest can freely rise and fall with each breath. Continue moving your attention like a warm light down your body, allowing the legs to relax. Checking in with your knees, noticing how they're feeling today. Moving your attention down your calves and your shins. Checking in with your ankles. And noticing your feet, where we hold so much tension. Allowing them to just relax. And then moving your attention out to every single toe, seeing if you can feel each one individually. And checking in with them. They each have different functions and kind of different personalities. Take another full inhale. Gentle but full exhale through the mouth, releasing any residual tension. Gently open the eyes and we'll come back to that stretch. We still had one more to do. So again, we're going to inhale out and up. As we inhale, we always lift and reach out of the core, right? I'm going to bend that arm, bringing it between the shoulder blades if that works for you. But if your elbow's out here, that's fine too. Just work with wherever you are, just by breathing. And let's lift that arm, and we'll bend the other arm. Really feeling that shoulder rotate in its socket, getting a nice stretch, bring some fresh blood to the whole area. Fresh blood, fresh oxygen. Oxygenating our joints. And let's reach up, and we'll gently bring the hands down to the knees. We're going to come into a seated cat, rounding the back by tucking the tailbone, not by lifting the shoulders, but by tucking the tailbone. And then we bring the hands behind. Lift the chest, look up at the ceiling. And come on back to center. Nice. So now that we're sort of at the front of our chair, we're going to do a forward bend. So let's gently move the feet out a little bit. So we notice that it's very easy, or relatively easy, to sit up nice and tall and let the chest rise and fall with each breath when we're sitting up. Now we're going to fold forward. It's going to become a little bit harder to breathe when we're leaning on our chest. So you might want to put a pillow across your lap to give just a little bit of cushion. If not, that's fine too. So what we're going to do is just on an exhale, we're going to bring the hands down the knees, all the way down to the ankles, reaching out with the chest, right? Again, we're not reaching with the shoulders, we're reaching with the chest, letting the chest come down close, right under the thighs, letting the head come down and relax. And we've got a few breaths here. Gently come back up to seated. Lift the shoulders and press them back. Take a full cycle of breath. Nice, we're gonna do that again. So again, first take an inhale. And on a long exhale, we move the hands down the legs and come to relax over the legs, leading with the chest, relaxing the head down last. And inhale, come on back up to seated. Rolling the shoulders back. Taking a nice sigh. Relaxing everything. So notice what happens. This is the last time we'll do a forward bend. So let's notice what happens to your breath when you lean forward. And consciously try to breathe long. Keep your breath long and deep. Okay? So it might feel like you're breathing into the back of your ribs instead of the front of your ribs. Your body is very adaptive. So if you visualize that, sometimes it helps you breathe fully. And again, we're not trying to just fill the chest. We're trying to breathe down as if we're breathing down into our belly. So long, slow, full breath. Okay. So again, we're going to inhale first. Nice. And then on a long exhale, we lean forward, leading with the chest and out, coming to rest over our thighs, letting the head relax over our knees. And come on back up. Really nice. Okay, now let's cross the hands over. Might want to scoot back a little bit for this one. So somewhere around the middle of the seat is fine. We just don't want to be on the edge for this. So we'll take the bottom hand. For me, it's my right hand, but we'll do both sides. So start wherever you are. We're going to reach up and over. Right? So this arm that's crossed in front acts like a brake. This arm reaches up as high as you can and over. So we're really trying to get a stretch all the way from these fingertips all the way down to the hip. So we don't want to bend the elbow. We're not trying to get out this way horizontally. We're really trying to get up and over. Nice. And then let's reach up. This hand comes behind us, behind the chair. We've got a few breaths here. So at each inhale, sit up nice and tall. And on each exhale, that back shoulder blade is going to turn a little bit, allowing yourself to move deeper into the twist. So we're not pushing with this forward shoulder, we're pulling back gently with the back shoulder. Release the arm by bringing it way up and over, crossing it over to the other leg. Again, take your bottom hand, reach out, up and over. Keep looking straight ahead. We don't want to turn the body. We want to lift up and over. That way we get the best stretch from the fingertips down to the hips. Keep breathing. Long and slow. We're opening up the body gently. Reaching back up, and now we're going to bring that arm behind us. And here we've got 3 breaths. So on each inhale, we sit up a little taller. And each exhale, we turn a little more towards the back. So on each inhale, as we sit up tall, we create a little bit of space in the lower back. And on each exhale, then we move into that space. Inhale and exhale. Bring the arm back up. Let's cross it over, and we'll do that again. Bottom hand comes out and up first, and then over. Good. So you know how compressed our back gets over time. All these stretches help to uncompress the lower back. Come on, back up. We're going to bring that hand behind us, over the back of the chair. A couple of breaths now, sitting up tall on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. And again, we lift up first, so we create space in the waist, and then we turn or twist from the hips and not from the shoulders. So the shoulders follow. Let's bring that arm back up, cross it over, and reach out and up and then over. So in all of our poses, what's most important is what's happening here in the torso, right? So the arms and the legs actually follow and they don't lead. That's why we want to make sure that we're twisting from our hips and reaching from our waist rather than letting our shoulders do all the work. And come on back up and let's twist behind. Again, 3 breaths, sitting up on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. And let's bring that arm back up and over. Nice. We have one more to do, but in the meantime, we'll do some sun salutations. So if you recall, on the sun salutations, we move to our breath. On an inhale, we reach out and up. Exhale, drop the hands, go all the way down to the ankles. Inhale, back up. Exhale, relax. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles. Inhale, back up. Exhale, relax. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles, leading with the chest. Inhale, back up to the knees. And exhale, relax. You notice we're moving to our breath. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles. Inhale, back up to seated. Exhale, relax. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles. Inhale, back up. Exhale, relax. So we move to our breath, right? And every time, you probably noticed, every time we're inhaling, we're reaching, we're stretching, we're folding forward, we're folding back, but we're stretching from our core, right? And with each exhale, we're allowing our body to just relax wherever it is. Okay. So now let's cross our hands again. We have this one more time. Take the bottom hand, reach out and up and over. Again, looking straight ahead. Notice what happens to your breath. Keep breathing. Come on, back up. And that arm comes behind us. Got a few breaths here. Becoming a little taller on the inhale, twisting a little deeper on the exhale. And then inhale that arm back up, cross it over. Got one more hand. Reach it out and up and over. Try to keep the arm nice and straight, really reaching through the fingertips like somebody's got your hand and they're pulling it up and over across the room. Nice. And then come on back up. That arm comes behind us. Let's bring the hand back up and back to our knee. Now we'll uncross the knees, uncross the hands on the knees. We're going to take the right leg, grab the knee and pull it in. You want to sit up nice and tall so we're not coming down to the knee. We're bringing the knee up. Doesn't matter how high up your knee comes. That's absolutely fine, but we're using our core muscles here. We're also engaging our arms and we're also getting a stretch. So remember to keep the breath long and deep because that helps the stretch. Then we're going to take the hands underneath the leg, stretch the leg out. It could be up here, it could be down there, it doesn't matter where, but we're stretching, pointing the toes, so we get a stretch across the ankle. Press through the heel, feel a stretch in the calf. Press through the toes. Press through the heel. We're activating our lymph system down there, giving it a little extra push, pointing through the toes, pressing through the heels. And now relax the foot, but just draw a big circle. Notice how your ankle's doing today. What's the range of motion today for your ankle? Take it in one direction, then the other. And then let's take that ankle, put it on the opposite knee. If it doesn't come to your knee, just put it down next to your foot. You want to put one hand on each knee. Press away from this top leg that we've just been working with. So we're getting a stretch in the outside of the hip here and the lower back. And come on back to center, gently lift up that leg and let's put it down. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So grab that left leg, pull it in nice and close, bringing your elbows in, keeping your shoulder blades together on your back, sitting up nice and tall. Yeah. So we're strengthening as well as stretching. And then put your hands underneath your leg to support it, point through the toes, feel that stretch across the ankle, press through the heel, and point gently but firmly, and press, and point, and press. Again, activating the lymph system down there. And then relax the foot and draw a big circle as big as you can in one direction then the other. Noticing how your ankle's feeling today. Noticing the range of motion. And then let's bring that ankle to the knee, or the modification is down to the floor. Gently press into both knees and turn away from the leg we were just working with. Come on back to center. We're just going to do that one more time. So gently drop that leg down. Let's come back to the first leg. I'm going to lift that leg, pull it in. Moving a little faster now because we've already stretched everything out. Support that leg, stretch through the toes, press through the heel, point and stretch, and point and stretch. And this is a good thing to do a couple times during the day. Draw some circles. Whenever you point and flex your foot like that, you're activating this part of the lymph system. Really a good thing to keep pumping a couple times a day. And then let's bring that ankle to the knee. Sit up tall, press down on that knee and push away from it. Come on back and release that leg back down to the floor. We've got one more side, so we're going to grab that left knee, pull it in, again, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the elbows in close to the body, pulling the shoulder blades together. It's our constant theme. And then supporting the leg and pointing through the toe, and then flexing the heel, pointing the toes, pressing through the heel, pointing and flexing, and then again drawing a circle. And let's bring that ankle back to the opposite knee. Sitting up nice and tall, we gently press on that knee and turn away from it. Come on back to center, gently lift that leg. Place it back down. We've got a few more sun salutations to do, and then we'll move into our final flow. So it's okay to have the feet out, not right underneath the knees on this one. We're going to inhale up. Exhale the hands to the knees, down to the ankles. Long exhale. Inhale, we sit back up. Exhale, completely relax. Inhale out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles. Inhale, back up. And exhale, relax. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles, really reaching. Inhale, back up. Exhale, relax. Make sure you really do relax with that exhale. Again, inhale, out and up. Exhale, knees to ankles. Inhale, back up to seated. Exhale, relax. One more time, we're going to inhale out and up, reaching even further than before. Exhale, knees to toes, again, reaching out as far as you can. Inhaling back up. And exhale, just relaxing. Right. So as my coach used to say, when you work hard. When you rest hard. So when you relax, you want to completely relax. And when you're stretching, you want to stretch through your fingertips, right? And you want to sit up tall and really feel the energy flowing through all your limbs. And you feel that when you engage them. So now let's move to our flow. We'll practice the poses and then we'll put it all together. So we're going to turn this way. And have your legs, if you can, at a 90-degree angle. If you've got more flexibility, take that back leg and stretch it out behind you, pressing into the outside of that foot, right? That engages this whole leg, activates the blood flow, and makes this leg work, right? Otherwise, this leg's doing all the work. So we're going to start out in Warrior One, both arms reaching up to the ceiling. Remember to keep breathing. In Warrior One, the chest is facing forward and the arms are reaching up. Your head might face straight ahead, or you might look up at your hands, whatever works best for you. And then on an exhale, we're going to move into Warrior Two. So now the arms are reaching out in opposite directions. The chest is actually facing sideways, but the gaze is over the front hand. So we've got a twist here. And then we're going to flip that hand over, that front hand, reach it up to the sky, coming into reverse warrior, and the back hand just comes down the back leg. And on an exhale, gently bend that front arm. Bring it to rest really lightly, no weight, on that knee. Take your top arm, reach across the room, and peek underneath your arm. This is extended side angle. Remember, keep no weight or very little weight on that front elbow. What you're really doing, what's holding you up, is because you're reaching way across the room, and that makes your torso nice and light. So on the next inhale, we're going to take that top arm, let it bring us back up, reach the front arm out again, coming into Warrior Two. Let's relax the arms down, come back to center, let everything reset, feel neutral, right, with the shoulders over the hips, the knees over the ankles. Take a full cycle of breath, inhaling slowly but fully, exhaling slowly and fully, coming back to neutral. Good. Now we're going to go to the other side. Okay. Stretch that back leg out nice and long if you can, otherwise 90 degrees is fine. So you notice the chest is facing forward right over that knee. We lift the arms up and gaze either straight ahead or up to the ceiling. So in each pose, once we find the pose, we've got a few breaths. So remember to keep the breath long and deep and allow the body to gently open in each pose. Exhale, open up to warrior two. So the gaze is still forward, but the torso has shifted. So the torso is now facing the side. Flip that front hand over, reach it up to the ceiling as the back arm drops. Feeling a stretch from your fingertips all the way down to your torso. Reaching up a little higher. Maybe reaching even slightly behind you. And on an exhale, gently drop that elbow to the knee. Reach across the room with the top arm. Again, you're reaching with the fingertips, but the shoulder blade is still down, so we're not reaching out like that. We're reaching through the fingertips. And look underneath your arm, peeking up at the ceiling. Whenever you feel like you're sinking down into that elbow, just lift yourself up and become nice and light. Nice adjustment. Breathing. And on the next inhale, that arm comes up and we come back to warrior two. Exhale, relax down. Relax back to neutral. Roll the shoulders up and back, up and back. So we held each of those poses for quite a few breaths. We'll do the same flow again on each side, but we're not going to hold it quite as long, right? So you want to make sure that when you're reaching, you're really reaching. When you're relaxing, you're really relaxing. Okay, that way you get the maximum effort out of each of these poses by using your breath to the fullest. So let's look this way again. One leg is bent. The other leg is straight if possible. We're coming into warrior one. Lifting up out of the waist, reaching for the ceiling. And exhaling to warrior two. Flip the hand over, inhale up to reverse warrior, reaching for the ceiling. Still keeping the breath long and deep. And then on an exhale, bending that elbow, reaching across the room with the top arm, making sure you don't sink in your elbow. And then using that top arm on your inhale to come back up to warrior two. And relax. Come back to neutral, reset. So once we get into the pose, we're basically holding the breath, or we're holding the pose for about 3 breaths. And then there's a natural inhale or exhale that we use to move to the next pose, depending on whether we're reaching or we're coming back down. So now let's look at the last side. Stretch that leg out. Make sure you have a 90-degree angle here, using your body structure always to support you. Inhale up to warrior one. Exhaling to warrior two. Flip the hand over and inhale up to reverse warrior. Exhale the elbow to the knee. Reach the arm across the room. And as you do that, press into the outside of your back foot. Make a nice long line. Use your top arm to bring you back up to warrior two. Reaching a little farther this time. Relax back down. And come on back to center. Perfect. We're still going to use our breath for just some final stretches. So we're going to inhale out and up. Exhale out and down. Inhale out and up. Exhaling through the mouth, out and down. One more time, inhaling through the nose, sitting up nice and tall. Exhaling through the mouth. Letting the hands come back to your knees. Engaging the core, feeling that nice strong core, lifting up out of your waist. Reach your arms out. Stretching a little farther, see how far you can reach through your fingertips. And then bring your hands together, giving yourself a hug, noticing which arm is on the top. So you want to stay symmetrical. Inhale, reach out again, maybe even further this time. Exhale, give yourself another hug with the other arm on top. Nice, stretch out. And all done. Come on back to rest. When you rest, relax and completely. Well done, everyone. Good job. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kay.
My pleasure. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. We'll miss you next week.
Yes, I'll miss you too. But keep breathing. Hey there. Now I'm seeing more of you in the corner there. There we go. Mm-hmm.